Right then, let's talk about DOMS. Everything you need to know, hopefully short, sharp, concise, and made simple. So for anyone who didn't know, DOMS is the delayed onset of muscle soreness. It's that pain you get in the muscle, delayed being the main words. There's always a bit of a lag. It could be anything from 24 to even 48, 72 hours after your workout. Sometimes you can train, think you're okay, boom, you wake up the day after, you're like, whoa, that workout really catches up with you. So why do we get DOMS? There's three main driving factors for it. And the first one is the intensity at which you train. So if normally on legs, you're going into the gym, you're leg pressing, you normally do 60, then one day you go with a training partner and they make you do 100, and you're training a lot higher intensity or a higher threshold than what you're used to, that's going to cause DOMS 100%. So intensity is the first one. The second reason is going to be the stimulus, the exercise that you do. Now, again, use that leg day example. If you're used to always doing leg press, you always go into the gym and you do 3 or 4 machines every leg day. Then you go and train with your friend and they say, right, we're starting with walking lunges today. Now that is different. That is novel. Your body is not used to that movement pattern. You do that, you start carrying some dumbbells. That is going to cause muscle damage and soreness the day after. And the third one is eccentric loading. So eccentric basically just meaning the lowering phase of the lift. That's where most the muscle damage happens, which is why it's so important. But if you're really emphasizing that during your workout, for example, you don't normally pay much attention to it, but then you go and train and you start lowering everything for 3-4 seconds and really trying to put the brakes on, like slow negatives on the way down on the leg press or slow lowering on a bicep curl. That can really elicit like DOMS and make it a lot worse. So what is it specifically? The soreness is a result of inflammation that occurs in order to heal the damaged muscle tissue. So it's like those micro tears that happen when you're doing the exercise, and as part of your body's natural recovery process, you're repairing those inflammation in the muscle. That's why often you can do a workout and then it's when you go to sleep and that recovery process happens. That's why sometimes the day after it's actually worse. That's why there's a lag on it. So it just means that your body's healing from the exercise that you've done. A common question: say you're doing X exercise, whatever it is, I'll get a message saying, right, Adam, I don't think this exercise is working anymore. I just don't feel it anymore. So for example, it might be a lat pull down in that, because there's a picture of it there. You did it on week 1 and you really felt it in your lats. And now on week 3 or 4, you're doing it, but you're not really feeling it. So the exercise isn't working. Maybe you're thinking, I need a new exercise to grow my back. Well, that's not true. And the reason for that is something called the repeated bout effect, or RBE. And the repeated bout effect just means that every time you do the same exercise again and again and again, your body adapts. You make adaptations in the muscle, your body gets used to that movement pattern, and you become better adapted to that exercise. So when you're doing the lat pull down on week 4 or week 6, you're not going to be as sore on week 1. That's a good thing. That's your body adapting to it. But if you hadn't watched a training video like this, or you didn't know, I totally understand why you would think it's not working. But a key, one of the biggest takeaways from this little presentation is DOMS isn't a direct indication that you're making progress. You don't have to be sore to make progress. Often it happens in the pursuit of progressive overload and you do naturally go heavier and push yourself. DOMS happens, but you don't have to be sore to have a good workout. And the repeated bout effect is a good thing. It just shows your body's adapting. That's why on a general 12-week program, I always say that on week 1, you're going to have the most DOMS, novel stimulus, everything's new. Then as you continue throughout the program, you get the repeated bout effect. You're on to week 6, you've repeated the same exercise for 6 weeks on the trot. And then I changed the first exercise from squats to walking lunges. The first time you do those walking lunges on week 7, DOMS is going to be at its highest. By the time you're on week 10, 11, 12, you're not going to be as sore anymore. So is the feeling of DOMS a sign of a good workout? Just touched on that. No, it's not. The picture there of a trainer. It's really easy for a trainer, or you go and train with your friend, your colleague, and he says, come to the gym with me, come and train. It's really easy for someone to beast you drop set, 50 reps, drop set this. And of course, anyone's going to be sore. Does that mean it's a good workout? No, not at all. Your mindset when you go into the gym should be to stimulate the muscle. Go in there, stimulate the muscle, go away, rest, recover, go again. And just keep stimulating, and turn up consistently to the gym, not to annihilate the muscle. So stimulate, not annihilate. It can actually be counterproductive. So if you are trying to build muscle and you go into the gym and you do a lower, or whatever the muscle group is, you do a chest workout with one of your friends, and instead of doing the normal 10 or 12 sets you actually go and do 20 sets on chest, and you drop set everything, and you go super hard, and you put press ups in between every set. Actually, the day or 2 days after that, you might be so sore that when you go to train shoulders or even back the day after or 2 days later, you can't actually perform in the subsequent workouts because you're too sore from that. So you don't build a great physique through having one killer workout. You build a great physique for being consistent. And sometimes going too hard has the opposite effect. And on the flip side, if you think about it of someone who's trying to lose weight, which is probably 90% of people, if you're trying to lose weight, you would have heard me say how important steps are. You've got to be moving. Now, if you go into the gym and again, you go and hire a personal trainer, they kill you, you're really sore, the day after you hardly move, or for 48 hours after the workout, you hardly move, that's no good. That's actually counterproductive to fat loss. So there are reasons against it. It just means, DOMS just means that you have damaged your muscle fibers. That's all it means. It means they're breaking down and they're repairing. How to reduce DOMS. Notice how I use the word reduce, not like how do you get rid of DOMS. Once you've broken the muscle fibers down and you've done the workout, you've done the session, you can't get rid of it. Your body's just got to go through that natural healing process. But there are certain things that you can do that will just slightly help and maybe speed up the process. Now, the first thing that I'd say is always movement. If your legs are sore, because generally, obviously you can get DOMS in any muscle group, but legs is the most common, chest as well, back. You rarely get DOMS in your shoulders, arms you can get DOMS in, but generally it's legs. And the number one advice that I would give you is move. It's actually, the opposite to what you want to do, because if you're sore, you're naturally going to want to sit still. But if you can get some movement, get out, go for a walk, do some light cardio, and you get the blood flowing again, that's going to actually aid the recovery process, because once you get moving, the blood gets flowing. In the blood is going to be everything your muscles need to recover. So movement's the best thing you can do. Also, your nutrition. If your nutrition is on point, you're eating good quality foods, good quality proteins, healthy fats, you're getting vegetables and fruits in and giving your body all the building blocks it needs, and you're well hydrated, you will recover quicker between workouts. If you're eating processed foods, low protein, high sugar, that's not an optimal environment to recover from. Managing your stress. If you are training hard, but then outside of your workouts, you're completely stressed out. Your cortisol is permanently high all the time. You're not sleeping well. It's not an adequate environment for your body to recover. Whereas if you are managing your stress, you're practicing mindfulness, you're having time to relax, your cortisol is lower, your body's going to be able to recover better from that workout. Sleep, I just touched on. Obviously, if you're getting 7 to 9 hours sleep a night, you're going to recover better. And a hot bath, I've thrown that one in there. That is a personal favourite of mine. Hot bath, Epsom bath salts, get the blood flowing. I find that helps. It helps me a little bit for sure. A few myths around DOMS. The first one would be, if you're not sore, you're not growing. Kind of touched on that already, but that is not true. You're always going to be sore maybe at the start of a new program, but when you get deeper into it, don't worry. It's not a direct indicator of muscle growth. Foam rolling. People believe that if you foam roll, maybe before or after, it's going to get rid of DOMS. It's not. There's no research to say it's going to help. It might psychologically help you, that you feel like you're getting the blood going a little bit into the muscle, but not really. Once that muscle breakdown has happened, foam rolling isn't going to do much for it. And the last one is glutamine. There's always, I mean, I used to believe this, being really honest, back in the day. Glutamine used to be the recovery amino acid, and if you take that, you'll recover quicker. Again, there's minimal proper research to actually show that. Glutamine's a good supplement. I take it myself, but it's going to help you in other areas, more like your immune system, rather than actually recovering and reducing DOMS. What does it mean if you're never sore? So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I'm never really sore, what does that actually mean? A few things. First one, it could be potentially you're just not training hard enough. A lot of people would be guilty of this. Maybe you're just going to the gym, doing the same things, generally with the same weights, not pushing yourself. Maybe you're training on your own. And the first thing that I said, what causes it, was intensity. So if you're not pushing yourself at a higher intensity and you're lifting the same now as you was a year ago, maybe that's the reason that you're not getting DOMS. The second one could be because you're doing the same routine. So many people will literally go to the gym, they will park in the same car park slot, they will use the same locker, they will do exactly the same workouts. For a lower body, it will be leg press, hamstring curls, leg extensions, it will be the same thing. And if you've been doing the same routine, repeated bout effect, your body will get used to that. Once you change your stimulus, once you change the routine, you're going to feel the DOMS a lot more. Also, if you're a highly trained athlete and you're training all the time, the chances are you're going to be less likely to be sore. DOMS is going to affect people more if you go and have time off. If you have a month off and then go back into the gym, you're going to suffer with DOMS more, but then you will build up. If you go and have a holiday and don't train, have a week off or 2 weeks off and then come back, you're going to be sore. COVID, when everyone was out in the gyms for a prolonged period of time, then when they got back into the gyms, you're going to be sore because you're using this novel stimulus again. One thing I would say is that if you are, most people need encouragement to get to the gym more. They need to train more. But there's a small minority who are guilty of overtraining, and all the time they struggle to have a rest day and they're always in the gym. And if that's you and you are rarely sore, sometimes the best thing you can do is to take a week off. Let your body fully recover and then go back into the gym. You will get a bit of muscle soreness, but sometimes that week off can be the best thing you can do for long-term progress. Few takeaways, little summary. So DOMS is going to be made worse when it's intense, novel stimulus, or when you're emphasizing the negatives, the eccentric, the lowering of the weight. It's not essential for muscle growth, the DOMS. It's just a byproduct. If you're continually chasing the progressive overload, which you should be doing if you're following one of my programs, often it's a byproduct. It does just happen. Just because you aren't sore, it doesn't mean it's been a good workout. You can have a very good workout. You can progressively overload. You can execute everything with good form. But if you're not sore, don't worry about it. It does not mean it's been a bad workout just because you're not sore. It can actually be counterproductive to be too sore. And last of all, you can't get rid of DOMS, unfortunately. There are just certain things in your control that you can do to speed up the recovery process. Those 5 that we mentioned: your nutrition, your stress management, your movement, your sleep, hot bath is going to help you as well. Sometimes people think if they take like an anti-inflammatory, like an ibuprofen, that potentially can help. But then also that comes with negative side effects, is that because taking anti-inflammatories around a workout will actually negate a lot of the gains, the muscle gains, because of that. So that's probably not a good idea, and certainly not a good habit I would get into. So that's all I've got on that. That's everything on DOMS. Hopefully there's been some key takeaways in there. Hopefully it's been useful. Any questions around the topic or the subject, drop me a message.